Hey guys, let's get more news about Miami Heat, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Magic Johnson calls Lakers embarrassing. The Lakers' midseason struggles reached new lows on Wednesday night in Miami. The final score, Heat 134, Lakers 93, somehow doesn't capture just how embarrassing this performance was. Tyler Herro turned the third quarter into his personal shooting clinic, draining 7 threes and crushing any hope of a Lakers comeback. Meanwhile, Anthony Davis followed up his Minnesota disappearing act with an even worse showing, just 8 points in 31 minutes. The only silver lining? LeBron James finally found some offensive rhythm after his recent shooting slump. But when that's your highlight in a 41-point loss, you've got serious problems. There has to be some ownership, head coach J.J. Redick said post-game. I'm embarrassed. We're all embarrassed. LeBron echoed his coach's sentiments. If you don't want to come to compete, there's other issues. We've got to figure it out. It's definitely embarrassing, for sure. Even Magic Johnson couldn't stay quiet, taking to X to voice his frustrations with the team's effort or lack thereof, saying, "I'm embarrassed for the Lakers. I'm embarrassed for the Lakers." They were down 32 points to the Miami Heat 105-72 at the end of the third quarter. The Lakers' issues run deep. Davis points to randomness in the offense and poor spacing, but the problems extend beyond X's and O's. This Lakers team seems to fold whenever they face adversity, a troubling trait for a squad with championship aspirations. While the front office might be looking for trade options, it's hard to imagine many teams rushing to help a spiraling Lakers team right now. After back-to-back blowout losses, 29 points to Minnesota and now 41 to Miami, the Lakers need answers fast before the season slips away entirely. Shane Battier reveals J. Cole apologized for calling him lame. Former NBA swingman Shane Battier carved out a career as a reliable role player, popularizing the hand-in-the-face style of contesting shots. It caught the attention of one person enough that he subtly dissed Battier on a song. Battier caught a stray from rapper J. Cole on Rise and Shine, a 2011 song that appeared on his #1 album Cole World, The Sideline Story. J. Cole rapped, "Brother, you're lame, you're Shane Battier. You out of shape." The two-time NBA champion and former Duke Blue Devils star reflected on the rhyme during a recent episode of his Glue Guys podcast. Battier said most kids know him from either the NBA 2K video game or the J. Cole song. Battier presumed that J. Cole, who was raised in Fayetteville, North Carolina, and is a North Carolina Tar Heels fan, was upset that Battier beat the Tar Heels on the Reg. Euler. Battier and Cole had an encounter at a Miami restaurant while having dinner last summer. The maitre d' approached Battier and said that the rapper wanted to come over and apologize to him. "I'm like, okay, who's bullsting me?" Battier joked. But the maitre d' was telling the truth. The Grammy Award-winning artist spotted Battier and offered an apology, explaining that he prayed for the moment to speak to Battier. The former Miami Heat forward accepted J. Cole's apology, understanding the connection to the rap game. "I appreciated the humility of a guy who put me on blast and I wasn't angry," Battier said. "I thought it was funny." Battier averaged 8.6 points, 4.2 rebounds, and 1.8 assists across 13 NBA seasons. He won back-to-back championships with the Heat in 2012 and 2013 before retiring the next year. The operations team at Chicago's O'Hare International Airport knows how to handle snow. With more than 250 pieces of snow removal equipment, the team can clear paths in even the most difficult conditions for the planes to keep flying. Chicago Bulls guard Lonzo Ball headed to the airport in the middle of one of those storms. Light rain earlier in the day had turned to snow. Wind gusts approached 20 miles per hour. It was the afternoon of February 16, 2023. Over the All-Star break, Ball had decided to fly to Salt Lake City to undergo a nerve block procedure to cut off the pain signals piercing through his knee. He arrived early to give himself time to walk to his gate. Everything he did took extra time. Stairs, escalators, security checkpoints. Carrying his luggage. The plane was scheduled to take off for the nearly 3-hour flight at 7:35 p.m. Shortly before, Ball boarded with the other passengers, only to deplane when a flight attendant announced the plane had mechanical issues. Ball stayed at the gate, waiting for updates. Hours went by. He lay down on the cold, carpeted O'Hare floor, headphones in. He tried to stay patient. If his long, frustrating rehab journey had taught him anything, it was that getting upset doesn't get you anywhere faster. After a few more hours, he reboarded the plane with the hope Chicago's famed snow removal team would clear a runway. Another hour passed before a flight attendant announced it wasn't safe to take off. Everyone deplaned again. Trade proposal: should Miami Heat take risk on acquiring injury-plagued guard? The Miami Heat could use another guard if Chicago Bulls veteran Lonzo Ball is available via trade. Is Ball a good fit? And more importantly, do the Heat want to take the risk in adding the former number 2 pick? The Heat, 10-10, must determine in the coming weeks whether they plan on adding or subtracting ahead of the February 6 trade deadline. Meanwhile, the Bulls, 9-13, are fading fast in the Eastern Conference. Chicago is widely expected to trade several veterans, including Ball, amid their latest rebuild. Ball, 27, is a prime trade candidate for a win-now team like the Heat before hitting unrestricted free agency next summer. He averages 4.5 points and 3.5 assists. Here's what a potential trade involving the Heat and Bulls may look like. Heat acquire Lonzo Ball, Chris Duarte. Bulls acquire Terry Rozier, Kel'el Ware, Josh Richardson, 2026 first-round pick. The risk in acquiring Ball speaks for itself. Injuries have plagued the Heat throughout the season's first few weeks. Do the Heat really want to add another player who historically can't stay healthy, especially when the player in question is a pending free agent? The proposed trade frees the Heat of Rozier, who has mostly struggled since joining Miami earlier this year. The Heat moved him to the bench last month after a prolonged shooting slump. In fairness to Rozier, he averages 12.2 points on 49.1% shooting since taking on his new role. Injuries have limited Richardson in the early going. Although the Heat drafted Ware 15th in June, he sparsely played. Miami sent him to the G League earlier this week, so he gets extra minutes with the Sioux Falls Skyforce. Ball is undoubtedly an intriguing trade target. However, we don't believe the Heat should seriously pursue him, especially not with his injury history. If the Heat intend to buy at the deadline, they need players who immediately come in and make a difference as starters. We're skeptical Ball can do that at this stage in his career. However, the Heat may nonetheless see plenty of Ball soon, assuming he can stay on the court. He recently posted a picture on Snapchat of him and his brother, Hornets guard LaMelo, with the caption, "I knew this day would come." Miami and Charlotte each play in the Southeast Division. We'll let Hornets fans dream of the Ball brothers teaming up. Heat supporters should turn their attention to other players. And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of Lonzo Ball? Leave your opinion in the comments.